Hello, once again, this is Brother Teacher. I want to weigh in on a video that our dear beloved Grandmaster Victor Moore did. It was, in fact, an interview. I believe it was with Viking Samurai again, where he was making the statement again that Bruce Lee was not as good as some purport, especially him. And he said that there were many martial artists during the time that Bruce Lee was around. He called them champions, such as Mike Stone, Joe Louis himself, and various others that could have beat Bruce Lee in a fight. Pause. Now, it is interesting to me. It is very interesting to me. But before I begin, let me say this. And I've said it before. What's even more interesting before I get into that point is that we have so many people, or enough people, I should say, that are supposedly martial arts experts, masters, grandmasters, gurus, whatever they want to call themselves, that will hear me give my take on certain subject matter as it relates to martial arts, and more specifically, in this particular instance, Bruce Lee and his efficacy as a martial artist. I can be as nice and as cordial and polite, and they still attack me. But it's okay. But these guys are supposed to be honorable, supposed to be legitimate, genuine. They're supposed to be traditionalists who follow a certain code, and many of them don't even follow that code at all. They talk about and down on me and people like me who give our viewpoint based on what we see, what's evidential, and because they're trying to, for some reason, preserve their position in the annals, not annals, but annals of martial arts history, so that they remain important, I guess. So anyone that says anything that does not fit the narrative of theirs, they attack it. And it's okay. But I'll tell you now, I don't change for anyone, and I'm not going to dance to anybody else's beat as it relates to politics is concerned, because I don't follow politics. I am my own person, and I stand on my own 2 feet on my own square. And I don't have to brown nose with anybody or to anyone. Just because people don't want to accept the truth for what it is, that's their problem. I said all of that to say this. I respect, and I've said it many times before, Grandmaster Moore. Love him to death. But I do believe that oftentimes people over-sensationalize things. They exaggerate events so that they can go down historically as being the person that did XYZ to someone who actually was more prominent than they were, and that's Bruce Lee in this particular case. Bruce Lee was worldwide, international martial arts star figure, martial arts practitioner. And a lot of these guys that talk about him today in a condescending way, they were not. And to be very honest, all of us, for the most part, are where we are in martial arts today because of Bruce Lee. That's everyone. That's Steve Muhammad. That's Victor Moore. That's Reginald Stroud, Brother Teacher. That's Ron Van Cleef. That's Jimmy Wayne Yu. That's Michael Jai White. That is Donnie Yen, Jackie Chan, Jim Kelly, Bob Wall, Joe Louis, and the list goes on and on and on. We all have benefited from Bruce Lee's success. Bruce Lee opened the door for us in the martial arts. And if we were in martial arts before Bruce Lee became a household name and or word, he escalated our position. He pushed, he was the catalyst for all of us catapulting to our success and our popularity. Everyone. Now, Steve Saunders, who's now Steve Muhammad, who Bruce Lee said at one time had some of the fastest hands he had seen in martial arts. He was in one of Bruce Lee's movies. So he benefited from Bruce Lee. He wouldn't have been in there if it wasn't for Bruce Lee. Bob Wall was in there. Jim Kelly was in there. John Saxon, Anna Capri, Shi Ken, who played Han. Of course, we know Jim Kelly was there. It was Yang Zi, who we call Bolo. He was in there. All these people, Jackie Chan, they benefited from Bruce Lee. Wing Chun, the system of martial arts from China, Wing Chun, southern system of Kung Fu in China, would not be popular today had it not been for Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee's teacher, Yip Man, would not be well renowned if it wasn't for Bruce Lee's success. Donnie Yen would not have been world renowned outside of the other things that he did if it wasn't for the Ip Man series, which was based on Bruce Lee's teacher, again, Yip Man. Yes, everybody wanted to be like Bruce Lee. Everybody copied or mimicked Bruce Lee during the 70s, the 80s, and even to this very day. If it were not for him, a lot of us would not have had the success that we have, and a lot of us would not still be doing or performing martial arts, practicing today. That's a fact. That is a fact. Now, people cannot like what I'm saying. You can argue, you can debate. All of the haters and the trolls can argue and debate. It doesn't matter. You can't debate the truth because he's the most Googled martial arts master that there is. He's the most world-renowned, most popular. Not that there are not other ones, but he's on the top. 50 years after he's passed away, he's still relevant. He's still argued. He's still talked about. He's still mentioned in movies and commercials and in books and magazines, martial arts magazines. He has schools that some of his students have carried on throughout the years. Who has done that? He has literature. People still continue to watch and repeat everything that he's already done. Yes, Bruce Lee. So, here back in July was the anniversary of his death again. He left a profound impact on my life. And I just saw something and it made me a little misty. It made me sad, but it made me happy at the same time. A couple weeks ago, I watched a video of his funeral, and they showed his home where he lived and a whole montage of clippings of him training in his equipment and things that he had done, things that had been auctioned out, or off, I should say. And it brought tears to me. And I won't say it's so sad that we lost someone so young. It was necessary that he left here because he made an indelible mark in all of our lives. Those of us who are true martial arts pioneers, practitioners, enthusiasts even, he left that indelible mark. Especially in my life, I would not be the man that I am today in the martial arts had it not been for Bruce Lee. And if I was the only grain of sand on the beach to attest to that. It has been 52 years in the martial arts. For me, I started as a child, and I was inspired by Bruce Lee. I've never had a break, never had a vacation, never had a respite, never given up and said I was going to quit, never had any desire to retire, never stopped since the age of 10, and I continue on today. I have a little arthritis, and I still continue on. I still teach. I still write. I still hold martial arts seminars, self-defense clinics, and tournaments, all because Bruce Lee inspired me to be the best that I could be at my craft. And I still push forward. No other person during that time inspired me like that. It was him. Now, I don't know about anyone else, but I can attest that he changed my life for the good. And martial arts has been one of the greatest things that I have ever embarked upon in my entire life. And it is indeed a way of life. A young lady, as a matter of fact, earlier today asked me, was I tired of doing martial arts since I started at 10? I said, no, it is a way of life. And it is a way that I have maintained and kept up since the age of 10. It's really that simple. It's not complicated. And on that same note, it's interesting to me that I've seen people who have come up alongside me throughout the years in the martial arts who have fallen off. They start drinking, doing drugs, they just quit. They get old, they get out of shape, they don't want to practice anymore, they don't want to participate, they don't do anything anymore. They've given up. And I just want to say this, that's a sign that it was never really in them in the first place. Real martial artists, and I say it again, real martial artists are martial artists till the end, until they can no longer do it again or do it any longer, until the powers that be, I'm talking about the creator, say it's enough and it's time to close your eyes for the last time. That's when you quit, when you have no choice, no other choice. But as long as you have a choice, you should always strive to train to be your very best, and age has no bearing on it. Some guys say, hey, I'm too old. For real? I don't know what kind of martial artist you are, brother or sister, but I am what I am. And when people see me from my childhood, who used to work with me years ago, they know what to expect. I still see that Grand Master. I still see Brother Teacher, Shifu, Sensei, Sabam, Nim. I still see that person who I knew years ago who never quit, and he's still at it. Still training. He still looks good. He hasn't given up. That's respect right there. That's what we all should be proud of. One young lady told me not too long ago, when I asked her about training, she said, I don't do that anymore. And she has a master rank. She just up and quit. And now she's smoking cigarettes. She'll show up for promotions and things of this nature when her organization has them. Is she really representing the thing? I'm just using her as an example. I don't give people's names. It's not important. I'm just making a point. If you're going to be it, if you're going to be the thing, then you have to do the thing. Knowing it's not enough, one must do. That's it. And that's all.